Have the superheroes of New York actually made things worse in their attempt to bring down Mayor Fisk? Well, let's find out together, shall we, as we hop into the pages of Devil's Reign, issue number 4. So then, as we join the book, we actually jump 2 weeks into the future following the disastrous finale of the previous issue. Daredevil and the rest of the Avengers had gone to deal with Kingpin, only to have the whole situation blow up in their face. Kingpin got away scot-free, and he used the whole incident as an impetus to introduce brand new spy drones all across New York City. Crime has fallen to an all-time low as these drones hold the entire city in the grip of fear. Zero tolerance is running rampant, but luckily for Matt Murdock, he is the man without fear now and forever. Now, the only reason that the Avengers weren't able to deal with Wilson at the end of the last issue was because of the intervention of Dr. Octopus and his new Superior 4. They saved the mayor, but in doing so, the relationship between Wilson and Otto has shifted quite a lot. Ock says that he could have killed the Kingpin whenever he wanted, and while he's more than happy to let Wilson rule as a puppet leader, make no mistake, this is now Ock City. Furthermore, this new zero tolerance on crime, criminal, as well as masked superheroes extends to Butch, the Kingpin's estranged son. Also in this issue, we see Daredevil has been looking after Foggy Nelson ever since Kingpin's men jumped him at the end of the previous issue. Matt is about to do what he always does, get a good old-fashioned Catholic guilt on, but Foggy is there to absolve him. He knew what he was getting into, helping Luke Cage run his own mayoral bid. He did it because it was the right thing to do, and he knew that doing the right thing also comes with getting some lumps from bad people. It's while at the hospital, Matt also has a bit of a showdown with his brother Mike, Butch's business partner, and the man who has been walking around pretending to be Matt Murdock ever since Matt got sent to jail a few arcs back in the main Daredevil book. Mike tries to get Daredevil's help in springing Butch from the joint, but the man without fear turns him down, saying that Mike has always been a con man, a swindler, and now he's playing with fire that might burn him for real. Now, what about the Purple Children, the only thing that can actually threaten Wilson Fisk's stranglehold on the city right now? He gets together his special Thunderbolt agents to go and get the kids at all cost. It's not an easy sell, though, as people like John Walker actually apparently draw the line at kidnapping young children, but thankfully Wilson has the power of the Purple Man at his disposal and is able to calm Johnny down. Typhoid Mary, Wilson Fisk's new wife, also wants to get out in the field and help the Thunderbolts, but the mayor keeps pulling her back, which is causing a big rift in their relationship. The heroes do thankfully get a W this issue when Mr. Fantastic and the Invisible Woman manage to pull off a very daring escape from their bonds. Sue stole a paperclip and a key card last issue, and because Reed actually designed these power-dampening collars during the first Civil War, he knows exactly how to turn them off. In fact, escaping prison really seems to be spicing up these two's marriage. And oh hey, turns out Tony Stark was actually in jail with them this whole time. Huh, interesting. I guess that explains why the Chameleon was able to take his place. Unless that is after getting found out, the Chameleon decided to turn into Tony once again and tried to infiltrate another group of heroes, which if that's the case, wow, you gotta give the guy points. Wilson, with a guilty conscience, ultimately decides to get his son Butch out of prison, but once again, Butch has absolutely no time for his father, not because he's got some sort of childish grudge about the man who abandoned him. Quite the opposite, Butch never harbored any illusions about the kind of man that his father was. If anything, he's actually more disappointed to see what he's become recently. He's totally changed. He's not the respectable gangster he once was. He's relying way too much on superpowers and villains. He's working under the thumb of Octopus. He's truly lost all of his once beloved street cred. Actually, you know what? I gotta say, in a wonderful bit of visual storytelling, you can see that Kingpin's costume is incorporating more purple now than ever before, like what his son is saying is true in more ways than one. Now, elsewhere in the city, Thunderbolt agent Rhino ends up duking it out with Miles Morales and the members of the Champions. Here's the thing, though, they got him all wrong. Alexei hasn't come here to fight, quite the opposite. In a wonderful bit of continuity, Zdarsky remembers that Miles and Rhino were actually friends over in the Solid in a Min book, which is why Rhino has decided to confide in Miles and the others. He doesn't like the idea of having to kidnap children for the Kingpin, and he hopes that the heroes, with this information about the Purple Children, will be able to stop him. So yeah, the good guys know what they need to do now, find the Purple Children before Kingpin and the Thunderbolts can. Jessica Jones is going to be leading this initiative too. After all, she's an expert on all things Purple Man, and so she takes this all very, very seriously. Now back over with Kingpin, he's really stewing on what his son Butch said to him. Has he lost his edge? Has he completely changed? I mean, yeah, he did. He was almost out. He was ready to start a happy life with Typhoid Mary. But the knowledge that something very important important about Daredevil had been deleted from his mind completely caused him to spin out. This not knowing is really torturing him. Typhoid Mary tries to relate to him, saying that because of the way her brain works, she doesn't remember a lot of important stuff either. She doesn't even remember the first time they met. Wilson is actually quite sympathetic, and you think that maybe he will actually drop this crazy crusade. That is, of course, until he ends up accidentally tapping into the Purple Man power and saying he wishes that Typhoid Mary could remember, which here's the thing, she does. Wilson never considered that he could use the power in this way, and because of that, he decides to throw all caution to the wind and make himself remember that which he had forgotten. He remembers that Daredevil is indeed Matt Murdock, and once again, all that anger, all that hate is reignited inside the Kingpin as he too is reborn again. And so that was Devil's Reign issue number 4, everybody, and I gotta say, I think this issue really managed to turn up the heat. I positively love the human drama that's on display for all the characters, but especially for Kingpin. He's being pulled in so many different directions: the woman he loves, the heroes he hates, the villains that are pressuring him. You feel like he's at a real crossroads right now. You don't know what decision he's going to make, but whatever he does, he's going to have to live with it for a very long time. It's also nice to see Daredevil and his continued storyline from the main Daredevil book also take center stage this issue. He's been such a good sport about sharing this event with the rest of the Marvel Universe. Overall, I feel comfortable giving this one a very strong 9 out of 10, and I think the next couple issues are really going to blow our mind.
Hey there everyone, Kate Joel again, and I just want to thank you so much for watching to the end of the video. It means a lot to me. And hey, if you enjoyed the book I covered in this issue and want some comics of your own, might I recommend Book Depository? It's my #1 place for shopping for comic book trades. You get a great price, and if you use my link down in the description, you'll actually be helping me out at the same time. You get something, I get something, everybody wins, right? So until next time everyone, I've been Joel, and I will see you in the next video. Bye-bye.